Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
This is night 21 of our 7th annual and consecutive 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. And this year we changed it up a bit and are doing horror shorts 2 every night. It goes without saying, but spoiler warning for the entire video from here on. If you haven't seen these yet and want to, go check them out and come back when you're done. So without further ado, let's get right into it with our first short movie of the night, which was Slut. This one is basically kind of like this nerdy girl just wants to kind of fit in and, you know, be attractive and get boys to notice her. And she tries, and it ends up kind of backfiring on her. Just some kind of crazy shit starts happening to her. I like this one a lot. A whole lot. It had a nice throwback to the 80s, which I think is always a good starting point for a horror movie. And it had a very big, like, Lovely Bones vibe to it. The main girl was very well cast. She wasn't just like cliche hot girl in glasses that came to be annoyingly common in teen romance movies and all that bullshit. Like, she was very pretty, but she also was presented in hair and styling as quote-unquote normal. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think she looked better with the glasses. Glasses are sexy. The killer guy was also well cast. At first I was like, oh, she made a friend. And then like when the main girl went out to meet him, like she was so excited to go talk to him and he leaves with the blonde girl. I was like, oh. She did a good job of portraying like this teenager who just wants people to like her. Like, if you weren't popular, you can identify with that. Her facial expressions, delivery, her body language were all spot on. Like, I can't say enough good things about her acting here. Like, she was, the creeper dude was good, but she was really fucking good. The story did a very good job of world building in the short amount of time it had. By the end, I was fully rooting for our final girl. I loved the Red Riding Hood and Big Bad Wolf path it took. And the final battle was tense and well thought out. And I was fully rooting for her, as said. I was saying, like, shit, whenever it looked like he was going to get her. And then, yay, when she won. Like, I was so into this. Although, did you think he was going to snatch her when she went to get her grandma? Mm-hmm. He's just hanging there. I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. And they did. And I was like, yes. Oh, and the camera work and cinematography was stellar. There's the scene of her talking to the boy outside the roller rink and the dual perspective shots at the same time. That's just an example of how it was really well done and really well thought out. So just, yeah, from acting to technical side of things, this was a very, very solid short horror film.
Totally agree with all this. I think one of the things that I liked most about this was the girl's character.
Yeah, yep.
It portrayed a girl that was interested in sex, but it didn't over-sexualize the situation.
Yes, yep. Good call.
And I liked how that played out. I liked how, like, you know, seems like she met a guy and he was nice, and then he pulls the dick move of going off the blonde, and then it's like, oh, thankfully he didn't choose her. And then we get, like you said, the Red Riding Hood. I'm glad that you said that. I was going to bring it up. I just liked how all that played out. And dude played overconfident bastard so well. Yeah, he did. And it came so good at coming back to bite him in the ass. Yeah, this one, very much enjoyed.
Yeah, another thing I liked was that, like, he was clearly, like older man. Like, he was the older guy. Mm-hmm. This guy, like, I thought she made a friend. And it was really just sad when, you know, he chose the blonde, the pretty girl, the popular one, because they did such a good job of making him seem endearing and nice, and, you know, again, it was kind of like skirting that line of, you know, she's underage and he's clearly older guy, but they did such a good job of how they wrote and portrayed the characters each that it was just like she at least like found someone that was being nice to her, not in a creepy sexual, like you said, it didn't over-sexualize it. It just like he's being like Mr. Nice Guy. And yeah, it turned out to be something completely fucking different. So, all right, let's move on to the second horror short of the night, which was The Facts in the Case of Mr. Hollow.
So this one is very interesting. Like, it's not even, like, it's very hard to even classify it as a short film.
Yeah.
It's more like you're witnessing someone play like one of those computer games.
Yep.
Where you're searching for like details in the photograph, and that's very much what happens. Like, we get a photograph, there's a story there, and slowly by focusing in certain spots, we get more and more of the story. And it was definitely a an evolved story.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally not much there. It's just a photograph.
Mm-hmm.
But I still liked it, how it did something different.
Yeah.
And it told a story in a completely different manner.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of this one?
It took me about 30 seconds, but then I was like, oh, I remember this one. But not all of it. I remember like the concept, like the style and the execution it took in unveiling the plot. And that's what cool thing about, like, it was, like you said, it was just a photograph. Just the way they went about. It's hard because it's like there's not a lot to say. Like as you said, there's not a lot to say about it. It's creative as fuck. And as you said, it's one of those like hidden object puzzles. But each time the camera pans out and goes back in, you find out more about the story until we get to the final reveal. And it's just on another level as far as being simple, but at the same time groundbreaking. Using visual imagery, no dialogue. No real acting aside from the posing in the picture. And in a style I would like to see more of. Maybe something more elaborate, like a more elaborate story told in this manner. Like there's a lot of potential here. And it's a neat little tale told in a very inventive way. So yeah, props to the people who had the idea and how they handled the camera work as it dug deeper and deeper into the story. Because each time we go back in, we find out new shit. Until we go all the way in and we are like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Oh, shit. The end. Huge fan of this one, and I was really happy that once I remembered what it was, I was happy that it was on the list for this month.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Well, that wraps up night 21. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. We'll return tomorrow with the next entries into this year's October movie marathon. So until then, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.